One of the little-known factoids about the Negro Leagues, and I think it's something that gives baseball fans an understanding of the immediate impact that the Negro Leagues had on Major League Baseball after Jackie Robinson breaks the color barrier in 1947, is the fact that from 1949 through 1959, 9 of 11 National League MVPs were former Negro League stars. Well, the great Roy Campanella won 3 of those MVPs.
Roy Campanella aims to catch the flying Phils as he blasts a tremendous 3-bagger to right center field.
Campy, as he was affectionately known, started his legendary professional baseball career, believe it or not, as a 15-year-old kid catching for a semi-pro team called the Bacharach Giants. He was so impressive that he would later join the Baltimore Elite Giants. Can you imagine a 15-year-old kid catching professionally? But as I tell folks, Roy Campanella was not your typical 15-year-old. Hall of Famer Raleigh Biz Mackey would take a young Roy Campanella under his wing and taught him the art of catching. Roy Campanella would become one of the greatest catchers, not in black baseball history, but in baseball history.
So 2 down, and now lefty Rockwell. Runner on the go. Strike in there. Tag out. That rocket arm of Roy Campanella cuts down the runner.
Hey, baby. Is how I feel to make you roar so high that it takes so long to heal. So please,
Roy Campanella digging in, trying to do some damage off Leon Day.
since you gone, pain and misery.
This one in the air right field. And that is foul.
Nope, that's out.
2 on, 2 outs.
Sometimes I curse that day when
On a line. Can't reach it. This should score at least 1. 1 run across. Mackey around third. The relay, he'll score. 2 runs are in, and they lead by 2. As we go to the top of the 4th, Roy Campanella stepping in now.
I've been so lonely since you gone away.
No question about this one. It's out of here.
In the end, it's hard. Now that I've lost.
Campy had all the tools you needed to be a great catcher. Number one, he was built like a fire plug. They say he weighed 205 pounds when he joined the Elites. He was probably bigger than that, but it was the perfect body type to play catcher. And he had a great arm, a rifle arm, and a quick release. And he threw out a great deal of base runners. It makes me wonder what would have happened had Campy gotten to the major leagues even earlier than what he did. He had already caught for about 9 seasons in the Negro Leagues before he finally gets called up to join the Brooklyn Dodgers. That's a lot of wear and tear on a body, particularly playing that position of catcher. It just makes you wonder. He was already great, but how much greater could he have been if he'd gotten there earlier?
Here's Roy Campanella with a chance to break it open for Baltimore. Out towards right center field. Newman try to get to it. Long run, tracks it down. Runners tag up from second and third. Safe! And they add to their lead as the run scores from third. So 2 down. Here's the catcher, Roy Campanella.
Ball 1.
Roy Campanella was incredible behind the plate. As a rookie with Brooklyn, he threw out almost 67% of stolen base attempts. Nobody's thrown out more than 60% in a full 162-game season since Yadi Molina back in 2005.
High fly ball down the left field line. And a foul ball. Back on Campy's defensive brilliance, he led the NL in caught stealing percentage his first 5 seasons and still holds the career record for that stat at almost 60%.
Yeah, I think I could have gotten the bag off of him.
I think you probably could have too, buddy. Now the tag at second, and he's out, trying for 2. And that is that. So 2 down. Here's the catcher, Roy Campanella. Hammered down the right side, but foul. This one in the air, center field. Newman moving under this one. And that's the 3rd out. Back here in Philadelphia, all set to start the 9th in this one. Roy Campanella digs in now. The 1-0. Drilled in the air, high and deep right field, and that's a foul ball. The 1-2. There's a swing and a drive. That ball's carrying. Out of here.
Treat me like a ghost, so you don't need to tell me that you already let go. My love.
Jackie Robinson stepping in to lead off the 6th for the Monarchs. Drag bunt to the left. Campy's after it. Got it. Campanella shuts down the bunt attempt by Jackie. What a play.
Your hand, they're fine without you. Your little favorite flavor.
Had the circumstances been a little bit different, Campy likely would have been the first black to play in the major leagues. The Philadelphia Phillies had offered him a tryout, but when the Phillies found out that he was of mixed race, which in this case made him black, they backed away from that notion of signing him. And of course, Roy Campanella would have to wait his turn to get to the major leagues. Branch Rickey had actually set up a meeting with Roy Campanella to talk to him about joining the Dodgers. Roy Campanella declined the offer because he thought that Rickey was talking about the Brooklyn Brown Dodgers, the Negro Leagues team. And when Roy Campanella meets up with Jackie Robinson, he tells him the story, and Jackie says, no, he wants to sign you to the Brooklyn Dodgers. Now, Campy had thought he'd blown his opportunity. He sends a telegraph to Rickey. Rickey responds back, and of course, the rest is history. Roy Campanella's first plate appearance in the major leagues, guess what? He got hit. But that was pretty common for those black players when they made their way into the major leagues. The opposing pitchers were going to send them a message. And I think in many ways they were trying to break their will. And Campy got right back in the batter's box and he started swinging. And as I oftentimes said, with those Negro League players, they not only were swinging to play the game, but they were swinging for hope, justice, and civil rights at the same time.
I'ma do all that I gotta do. Go back to my hood. They say that we proud of you. Over the family, we gotta shoot.
And now Roy Campanella digging in, looking to get the Dodgers on the board.
Crazy to think the Dodgers demoted Roy Campanella as a rookie after just 3 games. When they called him back up in July, he went 9 for 12 with 2 homers in his first 3 games.
Lead runner to second, so 2 on and nobody out. Roy Campanella stepping in now. This one in the air right field, and that's the 3rd out. High fly ball near the pole. That one is foul. What's nuts to me about Campy's first MVP season in 1951 is that he was hurt the whole year. He chipped a bone in his hand during spring training and still hit .325 with 33 homers and more than 100 runs batted in. He's got it. 2 away now. Runners at the corners here, 1 away. Roy Campanella, the next to hit. Hard hit into the gap. 1 run will score. And an automatic.
All the dreams in my head, you was perfect. You remember the very first time that we killed him. I reached for your hand with the nerves at. Tyler Petty, that's what it do. It be times I be 16 thinking about you. It was didn't do his part. You gave me the blue.
Bases loaded, 1 away, and here comes Roy Campanella, hoping to make it a big inning for Brooklyn. A laser to left base hit. 1 run's in. The throw to third. And he'll pull into second safely. Roy Campanella stepping in now. And that one is lifted in the air. Rhodes on his way over. Pulls it down and he makes the catch.
Well, all due respect to Cal Raleigh's 60 homers in 2025, but Roy Campanella's 1953 is my pick for the best season by a catcher ever. 41 homers, 142 RBIs.
Roy Campanella was well on his way to what would become a Hall of Fame career. He was doing everything you could possibly do in this game, and he was absolutely on a tremendous ascent. 3 MVPs already in his career. He hit 242 home runs while driving in 856 runs in only 1,215 games. A sports writer once described Roy Campanella as being indestructible. And on the baseball diamond, he essentially was. But sadly, a tragic car accident left Roy paralyzed and cut short what would still become a Hall of Fame career after only 10 seasons in the major leagues. And in many ways, that accident snatched the soul away from the Dodgers, because that's the presence that Roy Campanella had on that Dodgers team.
I always believe that any professional athlete, to be good, you have to have a little boy in you.
Now, to Campy's credit, he who had always been a very jovial, jolly giant of a man, Campy would say, the only thing that has been damaged is my body, not my mind. And he would use that baseball mind to help teach a lot of young Dodger prospects and players the intricacies of this game. He spent the last 35 years of his life in a wheelchair. But he spent those 35 years giving back what Biz Mackey had given to him. And that was baseball knowledge.
Campanella stepping in now. One down, runners at second and third. Line drive, that's a base hit. One runs in, another comes in to score. Now back in safely at first. Right, Campanella, the next to hit.
Outside, that's the ball.
You know, Boog, Roy Campanella's baseball IQ was amazing. He was actually the first black man to manage an integrated baseball. His minor league manager in Nashua, New Hampshire, once got ejected in a tie game. And he